Recording in progress.
Okay, so in the last session we discussed about the various types of functions that were related to text and other numerical functions also. And information functions also we have seen it a little bit. What is is error and if error, and also we have seen what is merge queries, how to merge the queries. Okay, and we like how we join the tables, more than one table, using the common column in SQL queries. Same way we do it here, but here we don't use SQL queries. Instead we use the Power Query editor to merge the data set, okay, based on the common column. So you have various options like we have various options like this one. So 1 second, let me just we have various options like it's I don't know why it's not opening. Yeah, left outer join, right outer join. Likewise, we have different types of joins, you can use it. So for that the options are available in Power BI. And the next one is append queries. Append queries is simply combining more than one data file. Supposing you are manager, project manager, or the client or the customer, they are giving you bunch of files. For example, they are giving you weekly sales related files. Let's say they've given you 4 weekly sales files and they ask you to consolidate all the 4 files and then start generate the reports. Okay, so your job is to, the first step is you need to combine all the data set. I don't know which one I used it. This Friday what we will do is we will have the assignments. Okay, complete assignments. We will spend a lot of time to get your hands dirty on that. Okay, visualization assignment EX7. Okay, let me open the You're not joining? Okay, 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 fine. Okay, some file I'll just open it. There, fine. We will continue with this one.
Recording in progress.
It's very slow. Power BI. And with this, it takes longer time. Okay, anyhow. And what I want to do is I want to go to the transform data now, and transform data. So we already discussed about merge queries, and merge queries as a new same thing. You can merge the queries, but if you wanted to merge two files and then you want to create that as a new one, separate one, you can use this one. This is always preferable one. Okay, you don't want to merge your both tables and have a single query. Okay, so but if you want to revert it back again, you need to revert it back to get back to the previous copy of your tables. And again, if you want to compare the merged queries with the non-merged query, it is the best choice. Okay, you can choose this one while merging the tables, two tables or so, 2 or 3 tables. If you want to merge it, you can use this option so that you will have the base table for verification. For example, you want to merge these two tables, but when you use merge queries, it will merge these two things and it will produce single one. Okay, and what will happen is if you want to compare what is the base table, the previous before merge, what contents were there in that table, if you want to see it, or if you want to work with that file separately, then you will not get it back. So it is always a good idea to use this second option so that it will merge these two tables and then it will create a new query name, new query. So with that query, so that new query will have the combination of these two tables or the queries data in it. And there are situations you will have to use append queries. Okay, append queries as new. So you want to consolidate both the tables or 3 or more tables, right? So for example, use 3 or more tables, it will open something like this. If I want to append 2 tables, for example, I don't want to do this one. First of all, we need to load the data here, and what we will do is we just go to get data and Excel workbook, nd colon and that one, and here you have something called the cscw star dot star, and here week 01 and week 02. So for example, we have 2 weeks data were given by your manager. This is one data set was given by your manager. First load the data given by your manager or the customer. Contained in errors. One of the loaded queries contained errors. Loaded errors. One error. Okay, one error is there. Okay, we will see what is that error. Okay, apply changes. I'll open another file which was given to me. Week 02 sales 21 December. This is another file, and I'll be loading this one also. Okay, now we are able to load these two files successfully. We got some errors here, errors in week 01. Still it's being loaded. Let us wait for few moments. Okay. In this case, what we are doing is, we have two files, week01. The file name starts with week01 and week02. So we need to combine these two files data into a single file or single query. Before you combine that, what steps that you need to take into consideration? What are the things that you need to do? Which all steps that you need to follow? Okay, and if you don't follow the proper sequence, it will cause some errors. Okay, this is very much important. Right, so compare the order of the columns in both data files are same. Okay, both data files should have the order of the columns in both data files should be same. If the order is not correct, then it will throw an error, or the wrong data can go and store it in some column. Okay, or it will try to append the columns separately. Okay, which we don't need it. Simple thing is, you need to compare the order of the columns in both data files are same. For example, employee ID, employee name, age is there in first file, and his salary is there. Okay, and if the second data file also has the same thing, employee ID, employee name, is salary and age. Instead of age and salary and age is there. If you have this one, when you combine it, what could happen is, it will try to load the salary column into age field. But here what it does is, it creates the blank values for the second file. Okay, we'll see what is happening. For the simple common sense is, yes, the employee, so all the columns in my second file should match with all the column in the first file's columns, right? If there is a mismatch, then it's a problem. Column name can be different, but the order of the column is very much important. Like I said, in the first data set you have age and salary. Second data set, if you have something like salary and age, it is a problem, right? It is not the proper order, and hence what you need to do is, you need to make it in the proper order. You need to set it in the proper order in case of any in case of any problem with the order, right? If the orders are not sequentially stored or correctly stored, you need to first make sure that both the data files or the order of the columns are same, and also check the data types. The next step is check the data types. The data types for the columns that you use it in the first file, it was not same as the second file data types. Then you need to first do the type casting, change the data type on par with the first file's data type. The third step is simply use the append option to append it. But I don't know why it takes this much of time. It should not take this much of time. I installed the latest version of Power BI Desktop. Every release they are addressing they are including new feature. In that way, it is really good, but the performance is very bad in every new version. Week 2 sales, yeah. So week 2 sales, how many number of records are there? Week 2, let me just see. Week 2. See, now just 986 KB. I don't know why it takes this much of time. It should not take this much of time. It's too bad. And also, when it comes to the navigation, all the things still it requires a lot of improvement, this tool. But they support a lot of features, but still. One second, let me. This is your app.powerbi.com. How many of you created this one, the Power BI Cloud? If you have not yet done, not a problem. As I told you in the last session, you can probably create after a week or two the login credentials, because you'll have to use your official email ID to create this one, to create the trial version, right? Trial login. So the trial login duration is 60 days. So my trial got expired, and I had to buy the Power BI Pro license. Look here, the license type is Pro. And now he is recommending to buy premium per user now. We cannot buy, keep new thing. But for us, Power BI Pro is enough. But Power BI Premium is, it has a lot of awesome features. For example, Get Insights is one of the awesome features. It will generate these stories. Okay, we don't have to generate the stories. I don't know yaar, why it takes a lot of time here. Let me close this one. Maybe because of Excel is far much better than this. To open 826 file records, sorry, this KB file, even Excel opens pretty faster. I'll just probably close it and reopen it. Here I have okay, week 01, week 02, both of them are there already. I don't know why it was kept on running there. I was trying to load both of them. Let us look at the data in week 01 and week 02. And in both the cases, in week 02, at least the column names are there. But in week 01, the column names are not there. Right? It is quite challenging. So in that case, there is no other way. You have to compare it manually. Okay, you have to compare it manually. Or else what I do is, I will just, for the sake of you people to understand, order ID, 1 second. Order ID. I'll just close this. The week 01 is better, and week 02 we don't have data. Oh, it got closed the entire thing. I'll just go to this one, and week 02 I just open this Excel file. Week 01 also I'll open it. This is my week 02. Ship date, order date, order date and ship date, it is in the proper order only. But here the customer ship mode and customer, okay, it's all same only. Okay, only thing is the column names are missing here. Insert, I just take this column name. Yeah, week 02 has all the columns, and here written, yes, this is also there. Though data was not there, it is, the column is there. That is good. So now I just go here and I will re-upload this file again. Yes, next. This is the one. Your column names are there. Good. Somewhere some error is there here. An error is 0 and we don't see any error here. I don't know why it still shows error. Here it says error 0, count 1. So okay, this is for this column. Each and every column, it is painful to see that. We don't have any error. When we eyeballed it also, we did not see any error there. Fine. So now these are the columns: row ID, order ID, ship date, and here also row ID, order date, ship date, and order date. Okay, the same thing: ship date, order date, and ship date. No. There is a 9/5/2013, and order date was 9/12/2013. So December month they ordered, but 5th month they delivered it. Okay, this is 1 second. Month date here, or okay, here we need to change the data type. See, first thing is you need to change the data type from the ABC. Ship date column is a text data type, and this one is also text data type. We need to convert this a date data type. But before we convert that, when you look at this data here for these two columns, the delimiter for this date, ship date, is hyphen. They use the delimiter as hyphen, and but here the delimiter was /. There is some kind of inconsistency. Whether you use // or you use hyphen for the entire data. Why the mix of these two things. Okay, somehow they've given this data, we have to live with this data. And when you look at this one, this is 1 second, what is this? This is in, yeah, it is date month year format, date month year format. That is what we can see it here. Sorry, month date. Look here, when you look at this here, it's a month date. So the US date format, it is good. So in that case, what will right click on this? First step is you need to change the delimiter consistently. Okay, you need to make sure that the delimiters are consistent, but in our case it is not consistent. We have a mix of hyphen and forward slash. So what I have to do is now either I'll have to replace the forward slash by hyphen, or I should replace the hyphen by forward slash. So just select somewhere in the middle. Don't select it here or here, in the middle. Okay, keep the cursor here, right click, and then what you do is you just go to replace values, and here hyphen, and here this one, wherever hyphen is there, replace that by forward slash. I just click OK. I'm done with this. It's good. So similarly for date also, let us do it side by side. Replace values, hyphen by forward slash. Good, we are done. But still it shows ABC text data, and you need to select the ABC here and then come down to using locale, here date, and here English United States. You can see somewhere here the English United States. Date and English United States. That's all. Pretty simple. It converts the order date. Okay. Just to verify whether we have any error in it. We don't see any error so far. But similarly, you just select ABC and using locale. And here you data type, you select date, and here you need to select English United States. This Friday we are dedicating one session for the practice, okay, hands on. I'll give you exercise and then you work on it side by side, and also I'll help you out, okay, wherever you get stuck. Unless you practice it, you are gone. Even experienced people, they forget the navigation. Where is the United States? Speaker United States, and click OK. Even ship date became a date data type. How do you make sure that this became a date data type? Along with this name, on the left side of this column name, you will find the calendar here. Right, here also we found the calendar. That means it become a date data type. Fine. This is the first step. And when we looked at here, the same issue is there. Here also, order date and this one. And replace the values, hyphen by forward slash, and click OK. Okay, everything for all the values, it replaced the hyphen by forward slash. Very good. So similarly, ship date, I just selected and then replace values, hyphen, here you need to use forward slash. That's all. The next step is select ABC, wait for some time, it is loading, wait for some time, and date, and here English United States. We are done with this. So now ABC, turned as a calendar, and similarly ship date you select it and right click, and you need to, sorry, here already we did it, so here just select it using locale. Date here, and here United States, click OK. Even this column became this one. I don't need a column profile. Very good. So date, data type, row ID, order ID, and order date is something wrong with. In the same order, they are the same day when they ordered it, they shipped it. But here order date, ship date, order date. Here what I have, ship date, order date. Okay, it should be the other way around. Order date should come first and ship date should come next, but here both of them are in the same order. Look here also ship date is there. After the ship date only have order date. Then we don't have to make changes. Supposing your order date is here in this data set, the other data set the order date in the third column, fourth column, then there is a cause for the concern. Okay, now everything is in the proper order. So here ship date, after ship date, order date. Here also ship date, after ship date, order date is there. Very good. The next step is, let us go and check the data type for the sales column, profit and sales import. See, look here, this same problem is there. I probably replace a dollar by blank value. I'm not going to do anything, simply okay. So we need to make sure that we are, so even for this kind of data you can append it and then probably you can address it. Okay, fine. Next I go here, on the safer side I'll go and apply the changes. For these two data files I change the data type and I want to make it permanent. Two of the load queries contain errors. It's simply, I think there is a bug with this version. It is not showing the error also. Okay, here it shows some error here. In that case you just go to view. Whenever you find something like error, column quality, enable it, and you can see here in case of any error you can find something here, but here everything is 0. Maybe the rest of the columns it takes time to load. I think because of which it is getting confused. Oh, okay, some sales, some error came here. So that's the reason why it was showing error here. Okay, here the sales, why it shows error here. Kept errors. Okay, I did not convert this a number data type, right? So I'll just remove the kept error. See, earlier I removed the dollar from this, okay, and it is correctly showing. It is not the problem with the tool, the problem with me. So the error, right? So it is trying to remove dollar from this, and because of which, right, here it was already null was there, because it got confused. Now what I do is I replace errors by 0. Wherever the error is there, you need to make it 0. Actually those columns see these values in these columns were the blank values are null. Okay, that's why it got confused. Okay, so now we have addressed this one, and similarly here I'll go and see why it is only one error. Okay, let me just go ahead and see the sales. Error is there. See, here also error is there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this one, kept errors, remove it, delete it. Okay, and I just select this same way and replace errors by 0. Put 0 here. Close and apply. That's all. At the first sight, it might seem so simple, appending the data from one file to another file. See what all the things you need to do, right? You need to check the order of the columns in both the data files. If they are not same, you need to find out, or you need to make it same. Both the tables, the order of the columns should be the same order. Number 2, data type should also be converted here. And then the one advantage of doing it one after another is, let's say I have opened this one and then I convert the data type. So here the volume of the data is less. After you combine both the data file, the volume become very huge. And then if you do all kind of transformations like removing the dollar from the sales column, and also the other things whatever we did, right, it is a time taking process. Better you do it separately and then go to home ribbon. Next you go and see where is the okay, I think it will work here only, not here. I'll just open the transform data. I don't know why they kept it here. See, now under the home ribbon, this one comes here, the append queries, merge queries. If I don't open Power Query Editor in the home ribbon, I don't see this one. Ideally, this is also part of the transformation. They should have made it part of the transform. Maybe because of not having space, they kept it here. I don't know. So now we will work with append queries. Instead of using this one, I'm going to use this one. Now we are going to combine these two and create a new one. So what I do is I just select week 01 retail sales 2021, first table, and second table week 02 sales December 21. Let us see what happens. Good, it created. It combined or consolidated these two files into a single file, append one. See, append queries as new. That is the advantage of it. So combine these two and create a new one, so there should not be any confusion. Okay, now if I select this, what happened? The values are coming here. Yeah, some values are missing here. Order period, shipping quantity, or profit. Okay, something wrong with that. Anyhow, we will deal with it later. Or at least, do we have the values for the sales? Oh yeah, sales quantity, and discount is also, discount is there, but for these records nothing is there. And profit also we have the values here, negative values. Okay, it might be there at the bottom. Yeah, so look here, the profit is also there. So I just rename this as on top of that you do some kind of analysis, you apply some transformation. So we discussed about the information function, is error or is number or is text. Those functions we discussed it, those functions are informational functions. So it helps us to confirm whether the specific column is actually a number or text data type. Fine. Now what we will do is we will do a little bit transformation today. So what I am going to do is I am going to take a look at this column discount. Okay, I'll have to see, yeah, here ABC 1 2 3. Even the discount is also ABC 1 2 3. What I will do is I just keep the cursor in the middle and right click, and here change type. Change type is the decimal number. Discount cannot be in the whole number. It is a, but when I do this it is showing null here. Then something wrong. What we will do is we will just take a look at the data got stored here, and we have some blank values are there. We have some blank values. What I am going to do is and replace the blank values by 0. So we have something called is blank function is also there. With that also we can find out, do we have any blank values in this column. Programmatically you can find out, because end of the day we need to automate it. In that case we need to program it, because we cannot open, let's say in Walmart and other companies, the number of files which we receive it are very huge. You cannot open each and every file, just click and replace, remove and all. You cannot do that. Programmatically we need to check if the discount column has blank value, then put 0 there, something like that. Because when you try to convert the data type from text to decimal, what happens is if you have blank values, it considers that as a try to convert. When it tries to convert the blank values, it get confused and it it considers that as an error. Okay, because null value or blank value has no meaning. If you try to convert a column which has a null value, and the null value you cannot convert it, right? So instead what you do is you replace the null value. Here, look here, I did not specify anything. Simply I put some blank and 0. Wherever blank is there, replace that with 0. At least 0 makes some sense, right? 0 makes sense. That's the reason why we are put. Say now, after replacing the null value by 0, now so after that, when I try to convert that as a decimal number, it got converted successfully. Okay, and okay, so now I will show you how to use if function. Okay, and also we'll see the other informational functions like is blank or something. So look here you have order priority. Here some blank values are there, so this one can cause some kind of confusion. And what we will do is we'll go to add column and create a custom column, new column. Here what I am going to do is if is blank, or else simply I'll put is blank. Okay. Let us use this one, order priority. Okay, I just selected this, and when I close the parenthesis, no syntax error, click OK. What is my new column? Okay, is blank was not recognized. Make sure it's spelled correctly. Okay. So here you cannot do it. You cannot use it here, and instead you can use it in DAX. Okay, is blank, you can use it in DAX. Here you cannot use it. So what I do is I'll just revoke this action. Yes, here look here, I will show you how to deal with this programmatically. For example, here order priority, right click, and what I do is replace values. Here the blank values are there, right? Replace the blank values with 0. I just put it here. Okay, order priority is a text data type. I cannot put 0. Sorry, 1 second. I'll just put some. You can put some numerical value also, but here we'll put some meaningful value here. So usually what we do is, in real-time scenario, wherever the blank value is there, we'll put some 999 something like that. For the business user later point in time to understand, oh okay, 4 9s are nothing but blank values were there in my data set. So now I go to advanced editor to see how to replace the blank value by this one, right? So 999. So in this case we got the command. So replace the table dot replace value. The last session we discussed about the replace value function, right? Replace value, and also transform column types, and then reorder, table dot reorder columns. All those things we discussed it in the last session, and we discussed 4 different types of functions. One is table functions as part of M language, and also list functions for this one, right? So those things we discussed it, and table function, list function, and what else we discussed it? How many of you remember it? Okay, if you don't know something, okay, you see the one thing what I did, I used the is blank. Now also I can use is blank to replace the blank value by this one, some 999 or something like that. Okay, so we have a function called is blank. Is blank function is part of my DAX function, but I am currently in Power Query Editor. Inside the Power Query Editor, you cannot use DAX functions. Remember this. If you ask any guys, right, so they'll say, hey, do you know DAX? If you know, or if you ask somebody, right, hey, how do you find the Power BI, learning Power BI? So is it easier or what? So Power BI in general it is simple, but when it comes to DAX, it's a little bit complex one. Okay, so in Power Query Editor, we don't have to write the programming language. It automatically generates the language, right? Automatically generates the language for the action whatever I take it. For example, I just right clicked it, and in the first field I did not type anything, blank, that means blank. And second field I typed 49, that means wherever the blank values are there, replace it by 4 9s. So now what happened behind the scene, the M function got, the corresponding M function got created, M language got created. Very good. So now I understood. So what I do is I'll just copy it, I'll just keep it with me, and then I'll go and check return. The return, I just select this one, blank is there. What I do is I can go and do the same thing here, but programmatically if you want to do it, advanced editor. So here and what is the column name? Return, capital R. So what you do is you just select here, and here you need to put comma here, and then replaced value 1 second. So you need to press enter and then replaced value 1 and press home and adjust it. Here you just put return here. Okay, I just copy it for my sake, and value 1 is already defined in this scope. Okay, so you need to use second, something like that. You cannot use the same thing, one different variables. Okay, so the let block and in block we discussed. The let block will have the variables and the in block will have the output value. Just select one, sorry, this one. Okay, it is still loading. 0 error and 269 empty. Okay, let me do one thing. I don't know, when I'm feeling sleepy, I got up so early in the morning. Okay, change type 999, right? So it is, let us see what happened. Still it shows empty. Okay, we have replaced the, okay, this empty, right? Still it is loading. It takes a lot of time. Okay, blank list may be incomplete. Load more. Yeah, yes or no is there, right? Yes or no is there. Still blank is there. Okay, and let me do one thing. I just go to the advanced editor and I just simply remove this one. Okay, it is not replacing that one, and we will see why it is not replacing it by manually doing it. This is something you do and learn. That's all. Replace values. So here the blank values are there. Replace with something 999. I just put it here. Look here, we got it. Now we will go and see what mistake we did it here. This is how you can troubleshoot it. So here also the same thing, and here the replace value comma return. Somewhere some typing mistake I made it. 1 second, I'll just open this notepad and then I just copy paste it. This is what I kept it in my thing. Change the type. Okay, look here what mistake we have done. And here the replaced value 1, right? But in my thing I change the type. I just use the change type 1. Actually what we are doing here is, see here, I did this one supposed to be a new variable. Okay, and here replace value of this one, right? Replaced value 1. This is the one has the recent changes in it, right? Replaced 1 and then 99 and replacer dot replace value return. Okay, so till such this it has the updated columns and records in it. Okay, so hence in the next step you need to use the same thing. Okay, supposing you are using you are replacing another column, blank value, by 999, the another column. So in that case replace value 2 should come here. You understood? For example, okay, we don't have any other. Okay, we have returned. Good, we have returned column, and the returned column, yeah, you have some questions. Merge and append queries. What is the difference between merge and append query? Vijay Khan. So have you replaced error into 0? Just point and click, right? Did you see it or not? See, when you select this one, remove error is there, right? Not remove error, replace errors. If you select this one, simply put 0, it will become, the wherever error is there, it will get replaced by 0. Got it? And what is your other question? What is the difference between merge and append queries? You attended yesterday's session, Vijay Kant? Yesterday I showed you, right? What is merge queries? No, oh, you did not attend. Then you are supposed to watch the video. See, you did not watch the video. So that's the reason why I urge people to better take up. But anyhow, I will repeat the same thing because every session we need to make progress. Okay, if we discuss yesterday topic again here, right? You're going. So anyhow, I'll just quickly give a recap. The merge function will merge for example, we have something master table and detail table, product and sales table. If I wanted to perform left outer join, right outer join, inner join, we can use merge. You understood, right? Left outer join, right outer join, inner join or full outer join, we can use merge function. No, I don't want to do any left outer join, right outer join because both my data file columns are same. So why should I do the merging here? We don't have to have merging here, right? You understood? See, in the case of select command, so you are doing employee. I just repeat the same thing. E dot e name, employee name, comma d dot d name, so because the department name is not available in employee table, right? EMP table as E and depart as D, right? So where E dot, which one you will join here? Vijayakant, can you type it in the chat window so that let me see if you are able to understand this one. Vijayakant, in the department table we have the department name, D name, but in the employee table we don't have the department name. That is what we discussed as part of SQL. But if I want to extract depart name from, yes, very good, right? We need to extract from D, right? So you need to join with what? You need to merge these two tables. How do you merge? In order to get the D name based on the common column between these two tables. What is the common column? Depart number is equal to D dot depart number. That's all. So in this case, if I want to get the department name, right? Department name, if I want to get it from another table, I need to merge these two tables. In the sense, I need to join these two tables. But whereas, in the case of append, what we do is, for example, it is pretty straightforward. Here, you don't have to get the values from other table and all. Okay? Here, simply you have order number. Yesterday, order number may be different, and order date is different, and what is that? The product ID, and then quantity, and something else, right? And today also, yesterday and today also, we have the same columns. We are not trying to get the value from another table, right? In that case, if you are trying to get the column name, like department name from another table, then you need to merge, join is nothing but merge, okay? You just think that way. So with append, we are not trying to get, right? We are simply, because we wanted to combine week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4 sales. For example, this is week 2 and week 3 and week 4 sales, we want to combine it, right? All the 4 weeks. You just assume that year 100, comma, date is there, some date, and product ID is P001 and quantity is 10. This is my yesterday's sales, okay? And today's sales may not be, same. Ordered number will also be different, right? 102, let's say 102. And today probably I would have sold product 1, same product, but the quantity may not be same, right? Let's say you have 8. So I wanted to combine all the things so that if I have everything in a single file, instead of having in multiple file, if I have it single file, if I do the consolidation, so P001, how many number of items we sold? So we sold 18. If you have it in a single file, for that what we are doing, we are combining all these files into a single file. See, if I give you 4 Excel file, And if I ask you to combine everything, because all I'm telling you one more thing, all the Excel file columns are same. Are you able to follow me? Understood, right? Yeah, good. Then if you're understanding, fine, because I don't want to repeat the basic thing again and again. So in this case, we are not going to merge anything, right? That is the difference between merge and append. Hope you understood very clearly, right? Now, very good. So if you have doubt, you can ask me, no problem, okay? But at the same time, I would suggest you to watch my videos. But sometimes what will happen, even yesterday's session, right? Yesterday is the last session. I watched it. It was not clear. We can get it clarified. Not a problem. So this is how we can do it. So to answer to your last question, right? How do we replace the thing, right? That is how we do it. Okay. And what is the other things we need to do it? Today I just planned for something else. The parameter. I thought of starting with parameter. So okay, what we will do is day after tomorrow we'll spend more time, and we will see the query parameter. Okay, how to use query parameter. There are 3 types of parameters are available. We will see to that because that's the important topic, and then we will I'll give you assignments during the session. You work on it side by side, and in case you get stuck up, I'll help you out. Okay. Any other questions? Fine. So if you think, I'm a little bit fast, you let me know. But again, you need to speed up a little bit by watching my videos. And also you can go through my study materials in blog. I'll share the link here also in my website, right? The merge, everything is available. You can go through on it so that we can speed it up in order to complete it on time. All right. Fine. So anyhow, I will store this file, whatever the changes we made it. I will share it to you also. Okay, so that you will get to know what files that we used it, and you can you can download my file. You can open it, and then what you do is open the Power Query Editor and see what. You just select each and everything. Oh, these are the files that used it, and this is what the consolidate one, right? So consolidate something like that. Okay, I'll probably give some meaningful name. December consolidated December consolidated sales, something like that. Okay, sales, so that this file will be helpful. And finally you need to make sure that you are giving close and apply. Go to file and close and apply. Small thing, you start work on it. I understood for you to take some time, but if you put more effort by practicing it on a daily basis, it will be good. And try not to miss the session. See, nowadays we are having alternative days only. See, and Monday also I took 1.5 hour. Okay, and today 1 hour, 2.5 hours, and this Friday will plan for 1.5 hour. Okay, so in that case, 3 and 4 hours I'm covering. I know almost I'm offsetting the gap. Okay. The reason why I give alternate days, right? I want you people to practice it. For that purpose only, I made this one, alternative days. Every day if I continue, you will not have time to practice it. That's the whole idea. Are you with me, Vijay? Does it sounds good? Yeah, so that's the whole idea. So it's not that, postpone it. For me, 1 hour, I can run it on a daily basis, okay? But I want to be human, okay? Because simply completing the training and people cannot learn it. What is the use, right? That's the reason why one day I give gap. You need to spend some time to practice it the very next day. 1.5 hour, whatever you cover it. Today 1 hour, and day after tomorrow 1.5 hour. So Monday 1.5 hour, Friday 1.5 hour, 3 hours, and in between 1 hour, 4 hours per week. 4 hours I committed, but in between I give gap because I want you to practice it. That's all. And day after tomorrow you refresh whatever I covered so far, and day after tomorrow we'll spend 1.5 hour and assignments. Right? Start work on. I'll give you assignment. Fat you need to finish it. But these assignments are very basic assignments. But going forward, we are going to increase the complexity. you need to be able to digest that one also. All right, fine. Okay, since you don't have any more questions, we will continue the session on this Friday, and I'm going to upload this video. You can watch it probably after 2 hours also, okay, and then we will continue on this Friday. All right, okay, thanks, bye.